There is a consensus of expert opinion that cricket may have been invented during Saxon or Norman times by children living in the Weald, an area of dense woodlands and clearings in southeast England. The exact origins of cricket are unknown, but are believed to date back to the 16th century, the name deriving from the Anglo-Saxon word, crick, meaning a shepherd's staff. It is thought that the first players were English shepherds, who used their cricks, as bats and the wicket gate of the sheep pens as a target for the bowlers or pitchers. There is a consensus of expert opinion that cricket may have been invented during Saxon or Norman times by children living in the Weald, an area of dense woodlands and clearings in southeast England. The first reference to cricket being played as an adult sport was in 1611, and in the same year, a dictionary defined cricket as a boy's game. From early in the 17th century, cricket was also increasingly played by adults. Rules as such existed, and in early times, would have been agreed orally and subject to local variations. Cricket in the late 17th century became a betting game attracting high stakes, and there were instances of teams being sued for non-payment of wagers they had lost. The earliest known code of laws was enacted in 1744 but not actually printed until 1755. The laws were drawn up by the noblemen and gentlemen members of the London Cricket Club, although the printed version in 1755 states that several cricket clubs were involved, having met at the Star and Garter in Pall Mall. Later on, the game's rules were formalized by the Marylebone Cricket Club (MCC) in 1797. The MCC became the supreme authority on the complex rules of the game, and its base lords, named after a founder member of the club, Thomas Lord, in St. John's Wood, London, remains the spiritual home of the game. Currently, MCC retains copyright in the laws, and only the MCC may change the laws, although usually this is only done after close consultation with the ICC and other interested parties such as the Association of Cricket Umpires and Scorers. Cricket was introduced to North America via the English colonies as early as the 17th century, and in the 18th century it arrived in other parts of the globe. It was introduced to the West Indies by colonists and to India by British East India Company mariners. It arrived in Australia almost as soon as colonization began in 1788, and the sport reached New Zealand and South Africa in the early years of the 19th century. A tournament involving multiple international teams had been held as early as 1912, when a triangular tournament of test matches was played between Australia, England and South Africa. The first World Cup was organized in England in June 1975, with the first ODI cricket match having been played only 4 years earlier. However, a separate Women's Cricket World Cup had been held 2 years before the first men's tournament. From the 1987 tournament onwards, hosting has been shared between countries under an unofficial rotation system, with 14 ICC members having hosted at least one match in the tournament. Today, there are 104 member countries of the International Cricket Council (ICC). This includes 12 full members and 92 associate members. In 2003, 2020 T20, a shortened game format of cricket, was introduced by the England and Wales Cricket Board (ECB) for the inter-county competition. The first T20 World Cup was staged in South Africa in 2007, and won by India, who defeated Pakistan in the final at the Wanderers Stadium in Johannesburg. In 2009, the second T20 World Cup tournament took place in England, and was won by the previous runner-up, Pakistan, who defeated Sri Lanka in the final at Lord's. 8th ICC Men's T20 World Cup tournament held in Australia between Pakistan and the founder of the game, England, on 13th of November 2022.